Year 8. I close the heavy, rusted metal hatches of the time portal once again. The air inside stings my skin like needles due to the static electricity building up between the dimensions. This time, the portal doesn't open with that familiar, clean hum. Instead, it groans like a massive machine with sand trapped in its gears, an agonizing sound of metal against metal. As the door finally creaks open, the view ahead is blurred and uncertain. The seasons seem to have bled into one another. The air I breathe is freezing, yet it burns my lungs like fire. It tastes of frozen fear and the metallic tang of a looming disaster. After witnessing the total system collapse of Year 6 and the silent, creeping virus of Year 7, I realize the truth. Year 8 is the universe's last, desperate attempt at a system restore, but the codes on the portal's diagnostic screen are flickering wildly. Everything is rebooting with corrupted data, fragments of lost history, and missing files. I know in my heart it's already too late to fix what is broken. But still, I step out of the light and into the shivering heart of that chaos. I am back in Rome, but this city is not the proud, eternal capital I left behind a year ago. There is a feverish, almost panic-stricken noise of construction echoing through every marble street. The relentless sound of hammers, the grinding of stones, the shouting of desperate men. Yet, these buildings are no longer being erected to celebrate the glory of the empire. They are shelters. They are fortresses against an invisible tide. I see Augustus. The man who once greeted his people with divine, unshakable calm has been replaced by a mere mortal being. He is suspicious of every shadow, with dark circles of exhaustion under his eyes. I can feel his deep, suffocating paranoia as I pass by him. It's as if he fears the very marble columns around him will turn into digital smoke and delete themselves at any moment. The walls I touch still smell of the soot and ash from Year 6. The Romans think this frantic repair is a rebirth, but I see the truth. This is just a temporary patch, written over a crashing drive that has nowhere left to turn. I move far from the city, to the dark, misty, and mud-filled marshes of the Balkans, to the province of Illyria. Tiberius is here, standing at the edge of the world with Rome's 7 elite legions. But the air here doesn't smell of campfires or iron, it smells of death and decay. With every step my boot sinks into the freezing mud, I feel not just the weight of the soldiers, but the discipline of an entire empire drowning in that thick, black sludge. This is no longer about suppressing a human revolt. This is a desperate, losing struggle for survival against nature itself, and an invisible enemy that refuses to show its face. The rebel leader Botto is acting exactly like a computer virus. He catches Rome's heavy, clumsy, and ancient legion structure at its weakest point and drags it into the suffocating depths of the swamp. As the clash of swords echoes through the twisted trees, I realize this sound is not a herald of glory. It is like that endless, annoying static from a frozen screen. It is the painful final groan of a crashing operating system that can no longer calculate its next move. I walk the hot and dusty streets of Judea. The tension here is so tangible, it feels like a physical weight on my shoulders. I can almost see the dust hanging in the sunlight as floating error codes Roman soldiers patrol the narrow alleys. As if a forced security update has been installed by a panicked hand, they are harsher, more ruthless, and more mechanical than they have ever been. But this cold harshness is not a show of strength. This is the final, jagged gasp of a system about to lose total control over its own reality, a signal of absolute panic. I watch the zealots emerge like ghosts from the shadows, striking silently and vanishing before the light hits them. The social codes of this ancient society are corrupting more every second under the crushing pressure. Everything is breaking into jagged pixels. I can hear the hum of the earth, knowing that an explosion is now an inevitable timeout issue. The countdown has already begun, and no one can stop the clock. And now the final stop into that dark, damp, and mysterious heart of the north, the Germanic forests. The thick scent of Teutoburg's wet earth and ancient pine needles fills my lungs. Here, year 8 moves with the terrifying silence of a scheduled task, as if nothing is wrong, as if the world is still sane. I lock eyes with Arminius. He still wears the mask of a perfect Roman general, his armor polished, his salute flawless. But through the portal's lens, I can see the dark, cold simulation running in his mind. He is not just preparing a betrayal of flesh and blood. He is orchestrating a total system destruction. He analyzes Rome's famous military codes one by one, searching for the fatal flaw. Calculating exactly which legion will fail, which general will panic, and where the lines will break like a master chess player facing a dying opponent. I witness the eerie silence of the tribes sharpening their steel blades in the shadows. I see the cold, digital determination in Arminius's eyes. He isn't just a man anymore. He is the executioner. He is waiting for the exact second, the perfect millisecond, to pull the plug on the entire world. Recording ends. Year 8, I return to the portal, closing the hatches against the rising wind and pulling the emergency lever. A final, flickering message appears on the glowing screen. Restore failed, data corrupted, the system has rebooted one last time with broken data limping forward into a future that no longer exists. The light is fading, the marble is cracking. But we all know the truth. There is only 1 year left until the end. Only 1 year until year 9, and year 9 will not be a reboot. It will be that massive, irreversible, and final critical error. The sky will turn to static, and the earth will fall silent. I was there. I saw the cracks in the foundation of time. I lived every agonizing second of the collapse, and the journey to the end is only just beginning. Prepare yourselves, the final shutdown is coming.